There's a battle going on right now, not out in the world, but in your mind. One of my favorite parables is about the story of two wolves, and it goes like this. An old Cherokee is teaching his grandson about life. He says, "There is a fight going on inside me. It is a terrible fight between two wolves. One is evil. He has anger, envy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self pity, guilt, resentment, and ego." He continues, "The other is good. He has joy, peace, love, hope, humility, kindness, empathy, truth, and compassion." The grandson thinks for a moment and asks, "Which wolf will win?" The elder simply replies, "The one you feed." Whatever we focus on, we get more of. If we focus on all of the problems in our life and all of the issues that we have in our life, we're just going to get more of it. And the truth is, the thoughts in our head are everything. I remember I heard this presentation years ago, and it was by actually Drew Bledsoe's father, who has an incredible background history in the military. But I just hear him in my head sometimes. And again, I heard this over 10 years ago. And he says, "The thoughts in your head will rule your world." And they really do. And we're in this world of so much anxiety and people stressed out about things that are just everyday life. Like, why in our society today are people so much more depressed than they have been in previous years? And it's because of what's going on up here and this mental thought process and how we're thinking and what we're thinking and self comparison. But the thoughts in our head will rule our world. And what we think about on a daily basis is what's going to set us up for how we want to feel. If we continue to focus on all the negatives, then you're just going to continue to get the negative things in your life. But if we start to look at the world in joy and love and peace and all the amazing things that this world has to offer, you're going to walk around with a chip on your shoulder, high, happy, smiling, walking around. That's what optimistic people look like, because the glass is half full, because they're just thinking about how great their life is and how beautiful it is. When we can shift this perspective, it completely shifts your life. So how can we create actual practical application and practices that will help us to see more positive things in our life, to get more positive outcomes? The first thing is awareness, is just recognizing the things that we're saying that aren't serving us. Are you saying negative things to yourself? Are you saying things that you would never say to a friend? Are you saying things that you wouldn't say to a colleague? We have to recognize these things, become aware of the language that we're using, and stop ourselves and go, no, no. Is this true? Is this true what I'm saying about myself? And stopping and reflecting and changing. But it starts with that awareness, is recognizing these things that we're saying about ourselves, or just the things that we're saying in general, and how we can combat that. Number two is gratitude. Having a gratitude practice somewhere in your life is super powerful. For me, I for years had a gratitude journal. It was something that I loved doing, and it really helped reshape my mind and start seeing the positives, where I don't have a gratitude journal anymore. Every once in a while I'll journal, and I do more of an open journal process, but it's something that I feel like I don't need as much, where I'm writing it down every single day. However, what I have found, and maybe this is something that you'll adopt because I think it's really cool, is I picked a time. I was at this event, and the person went up and they said, "Hey, here's something you can think about to do to create in your life." And basically, you choose a time during the day that has meaning to you. So some people like, numbers being the same. So maybe it's 11:11. My lucky number is 5. And so I chose 5:55. And at 5:55 every day, my alarm goes off. And I love this because it's 5:55 p.m., which often I'm pretty grateful in the morning, but sometimes towards the end of the day is when I actually start to feel lower. You're a little bit more drained, the day, has gotten to you. And then all of a sudden, boom, that 5:55 alarm hits, and I just stop. Take a deep breath and think about all that I'm grateful for. And what's been really fun is, because it's 5:55, sometimes I'm out with other people. Maybe I'm going for a walk, maybe I'm out to dinner, and I go, "Hey, everyone, 5:55, what are you grateful for?" And then I get other people to do it too. And so that's a really fun activity, in how not only can you bring more joy and gratitude into your life, but you can also bring it to other people around you. Number 3 is guard your inputs. What are you listening to on a regular, consistent basis? Your environment is so critical and powerful into how you feel and how you show up every single day. We need to be mindful of what we're listening to. I mean, I noticed this with music. If you listen to certain songs and what they're talking about, and often we just think, oh, it's just background music. No, it's not. There's a reason why they say, oh, play Mozart to your children when they're young. Like we hear these things, subliminally, subconsciously. So you want to be really mindful of the type of things that you're listening to, as well as what you're consuming. What are you watching on social media? Is it nonsense or is it content that actually pushes you, that focuses on you doing things better, more efficiently, thinking about goals and what you want to achieve? You also want to think about the people that you're around. Right? If you have friends or colleagues of people that are just super negative and complaining all the time, that's not serving you. How can you limit your time with them or you know, being more aware of what they say and not letting it affect you? Because here's the thing. We can't control what happens to us. We can only control how we choose to respond. And so the more that we create these practices in our life, the more it prepares us to better respond in difficult situations. So when difficult things happen or a hardship happens, you're able to then reframe your brain to seeing the positives. It's not always easy. It doesn't mean you're going to go through a life without pain, but we do have a choice of whether or not we are suffering. Pain is a part of life. Suffering is a choice. And so often the suffering comes from the thoughts in our head. So start to think about these things and how you can start to better your life by changing the thoughts in your head. But you don't need to do it alone. Let's grow together.